Hey guys, it's Robert here for Basketball Zone. We're here to break down the Raptors win over the Washington Wizards 109-100 on the road, 5-game winning streak. Raptors move to 4-0 on the road to start the season for the first time in franchise history. And by the way, don't look now, but they're just a game and a half back from the Miami Heat, number one in the East. My first takeaway of the night is obviously Fred VanVleet was amazing. All right. He played within the offense. He didn't press at all. He exploited Denny Avdija in space. He found this awesome chemistry with Kem Birch in that pick and roll, which honestly, the Wizards just couldn't stop it. They should have stopped it. They definitely could have stopped it, but they chose not to stop it for God knows what reason. He totally played within the offense. He took big shots when the Raptors were faltering, and he shot nearly 60% from the field. So they were all really good shots. Honestly, he reminded me of Kyle Lowry tonight. He just looked amazing. There was a poise and a pace that he played with. He got them into their sets. He let OG get going, Gary Trent get going. He got guys going before he started looking for his shot. And then when he started looking for his shot, you saw it in the third quarter. He just took off. On the other hand, on the other end, he guarded Bradley Beal. He guarded Spencer Dinwiddie. It was not an off night on defense for Fred VanVleet. He was great on defense as well. Both those players did not have great nights. And I think Fred's a really big part of what the Raptors do on both sides of the ball. And honestly, it's hard to say. I don't know if this is his best game of the season or that 26-point, 10-rebound game was his best game of the season, but it's close, right? So I've been a big proponent that Fred VanVleet needs to move off the ball a little bit more. Tonight, he showed a lot of creation on the ball, and I think he did a great job tonight just picking the defense apart and, again, taking what they gave him. Second takeaway of the night is they're winning ugly, but they are winning, and I don't think anyone expected them to win pretty. Missing Pascal Siakam, Scotty Barnes, and Yuta Watanabe, arguably 3 of their top 8 players. But it's been really ugly, to be honest. It's the defense, it's the offense. There are offensive droughts, and it's sort of surprising that they're winning, to be honest, because teams are just having really cold nights. I mean, there's some open shots being missed here. There's some lucky breaks. I'm not calling it a fluke. I'm just saying, after a couple of unlucky bounces, the Raptors have had a couple of lucky ones, and I want to talk about a few of them. So first of all, how are they doing it? Well, first of all, it's just effort, right? I mean, effort is making up for a lot of mucky rotation misses. I mean, it's just heart and hustle, right? You're seeing guys get beat because they gamble, and then another guy just miraculously recovers in order to contest the shot, right? They're a long team. Again, the length of this team does make it sometimes feel like they're playing team 6-on-5 sometimes on defense. And, it shows up when the recovery defense, basically. So it's your first defense gets beat. It's how do you recover? And the Raptors recover pretty well. So they have long, agitating, physical defenders. They do surrender some wide open shots. I mean, Kuzma was 1 for 10 tonight. KCP was 4 for 13. They did a great job on Beal and Dinwiddie. Good adjustment by Nick Nurse to match the size, bringing in Malachi Flynn because Raul Neto was really giving them some problems off the bounce. Not a great defensive night for Precious Achiuwa. He's often getting caught ball watching. He had a real struggle with Montrezl Harrell. Honestly, the scouting report on Montrezl Harrell is not huge, right? He's not a very advanced offensive player. I mean, he's a rim runner, and I'm not gonna make the point that he's not a good offensive player. Obviously, he's a scorer, but one-on-one, Precious Achiuwa should be able to contain Montrezl Harrell off the bounce. Like, I understand, guys get beat all the time in the NBA one-on-one. It's hard to stop someone. But some of the, just the posturing, like his hands are just down, and Harrell has clean vision, and, to either take the shot or to make a pass, and he's just not hounding the ball. So it's kind of weird to watch Precious Achiuwa on defense a lot lately, because it's like the other guys are working so goddamn hard on defense, and they're hustling so hard, and you've just got one guy who's just kind of like looking really lost, and it's starting to stand out heavy. Now, this is not a critique. I get a lot of shit for criticizing Gary Trent, and I've been very complimentary of him this year. He's been, hitting shots in the last 2 games. And, he started out hot tonight, really got them off to a good start, gave them a little bit of a cushion as they weathered some ugly possessions. They really needed his offense tonight, and he's been really a pest on defense. I mean, he's hounding players. He's in the ball. He's contesting passes, in the lane. He's leading one of the leaders in the league in deflections. But man, some of these gambles, I keep saying it, you're taking 50-50 gambles. Eventually you crap out, right? And tonight we saw it where he tried to go for that steal. And I don't know if it was a foul, but he got called for it. And 9 times out of 10 in the NBA, if it's not this type of NBA, they're adjusting the new rules for physicality, you're going to get called for, blatantly trying to strip a guy like that, going up off the top, right? Especially. So, he cost the team 2 free throws there. Luckily, the Wizards missed one of them. And then on the next play, he fouls a 3-point shooter, and then they don't call it. So it's a lucky break for Gary Trent Jr. But I would say, Nick Nurse, you got 3 guys gambling a lot on defense. OG gambles a lot. Svi gambles a lot. Right? And Gary gambles more than any player I've seen in recent memory. Maybe since Allen Iverson, I haven't seen a guy gambling this much on defense. And eventually you're going to crap out, right? So, maybe when the odds start tilting away from your favor, you're going to need to adjust to that and just, get locked down and play 5-on-5 defense and get a little bit more principled in your stance because, guys are jumping out of their seat. There's a lot of aggression on defense. I mean, you're closing out on guys 35 feet away from the basket and getting blown by. And it's like, what is the point of closing out on a non-shooter 35 feet away from the basket and allowing a clear drive? So, again, it's not been pretty, but it's been effective. And the Raptors are, they're winning. So it's hard to complain when a team is winning, but I'm just calling it like I see it. It hasn't been great. There's a lot of things to still clean up. My third takeaway of the night is that OG Anunoby has absolutely taken the next step. That off the bounce little step back that he did, that was very reminiscent of Allen Iverson. I'm not comparing OG's handle to Allen Iverson. I just happened to make that little shout out because I know OG wears number 3 for AI. He's a big AI guy, and that's why he wears number 3. And that step back, honestly, I tried that same thing in the playground one time, and I picked it up from Allen Iverson as well. And it was nice. And I know that Daniel Gafford is not a great defender in space, but it's really encouraging to see OG Anunoby comfortably handling the ball, comfortably handling double and quite frankly triple teams. I was not expecting teams to pick up on this quickly, that he was our number 1 guy, and that to gang up on him every time he takes one step inside 12 feet. He's seeing a double team, and he's getting double teamed the same way Siakam is getting double teamed. I think defenses are just respecting him that much because he's really hard to stop in the post, and he's been really good with it. I mean, early on in the game, he wasn't forcing his offense that much. He found Svi. It's not always pretty. It's not like Scotty Barnes no-look passes, but he found Svi open, cutting to the basket. It was great, and he's showing some real solid basketball IQ. And you know what? He's taking tons of contact. Like every game, I'm seeing this guy hurl to the floor, and the refs are just swallowing their whistles. And like, these are not non-basketball, plays. So I think refereeing this year, honestly, has been horrible. I mean, I'm all for physical basketball. I'm a 90s guy. I grew up watching 90s basketball. I loved it. But this is absolutely ridiculous. And it's not always consistent. I mean, it's fairly consistent, but honestly, the whistle was very tilted tonight towards the Wizards' favor. And it's kind of surprising that they still managed to lose this game. But OG is getting absolutely molested. This is not a guy who flails around like James Harden or, Steph Curry. I mean, this is a guy who's legitimately getting slapped in the face, slapped in the arm, hacked. And he's not getting calls. He's not getting the respect. And I honestly think that needs to change. And if it were to change, I think he'd be averaging 25, 26 points per game. Easy. So OG has been amazing. So next game for the Raptors is up against the Cavaliers and Evan Mobley and their 3-headed 7-foot front court, which will be 2-headed because Lauri Markkanen is out. No word on if Scotty Barnes will play that game or if he's going to be in the lineup. He's still out with that sprained thumb, but we will see. If he's in the lineup, we're going to see the best 2 rookies, in my opinion, in this class go head to head. And if not, we're going to see a first look at Evan Mobley, who I think is absolutely amazing. I know that Leo has made some comparisons to AD. I'm starting to see a lot more Kevin Garnett. So you might be seeing something special for the first time here in Evan Mobley. Definitely check in to the Raptors game against the Cavaliers on Friday. Great win tonight. Peace.